I ended up getting 2 contracts with a tech company by the name of MongoDB. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Brandy Morgan and we talk about all things freelance, working remote, and creating the life that you want. If you want to be a part of this freelance family, make sure to hit that subscribe button now, and of course like this video to let me know that you guys are enjoying this content. So today is a story time video, which you probably got from the title. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on how I got into freelance so you guys can better assess to see, how our journeys compare, and it kind of just gives you a better idea of like timeline from, where I started to where I am today. So we will get into it right now. So I actually got my first freelance client when I was in college. I had a teacher that asked the entire class, which was like of 13 people, if somebody would be willing to build his business a website. And I of course raised my hand. I think I was the only one. And so he kind of had no choice but to go with me. And he paid me, I think it was like 12 bucks an hour. I think I got like 200 bucks total, or 220 from building him. It was like a 5-page website for his company. And it was, my very first experience freelancing, and I really enjoyed it and I had fun and I learned a ton about building websites. That was really my first experience with freelancing. And just so you guys know my background is in marketing and software development. And so usually when I freelance, I offer those types of skills, but I do offer, also design, video editing, and all sorts of things, because as a freelancer you end up becoming a Jill or jack of all trades. Fast forward a few years to when I'm out of college and I'm working in a job. I ended up working at a startup and I was enjoying my work there, but I wasn't enjoying the work environment. It wasn't really a good fit for me. And so while I was there, I was actively seeking out other, options and other areas of employment. And I ended up getting, somebody reached out for me from the company Treehouse, or Team Treehouse. They're an online coding, programming, education platform, and they wanted somebody to build them a course. And so I pitched them on React Native, since that's what I was programming in at the time full time. And they were like, yes, let's do it. So they ended up paying me like a good, good solid chunk of money to write this course for them. And then, I went into their studio and filmed it and, did all that stuff. I don't think the video is still up there anymore, the course, because as you guys know, if you're in the field of tech or programming, that stuff changes like a ton. And so when I first did it, it was like the very basics of React Native. I did that and I realized, okay, I can make like really good money. Like in that 6 weeks of time, I made more money doing that than at my actual job. And so that really got me thinking, okay, I could probably do something like that full time, whether that's programming, design, video editing, just going out and getting my own clients myself, and creating my own work environment, from home or remote, where I could really enjoy my work more and produce better quality work and also make more money. And I think the biggest draw for me to make more money was, I don't know if you guys have student loan debt or any other type of debt, but I graduated college with a ton of student loan debt, and I'm really, avidly trying to get that paid off. And so that was, one of the big like money motivators for me to freelance, was so I could control the amount of money I make instead of being, pigeonholed into this one category, whether that's, a junior developer or just a regular, full stack developer. And until I got that pay bump to be a senior, it was gonna be a while. So I needed to figure out a way where I could make more money, and freelance really gave me that option. After that experience with Treehouse, I continued at that startup and I, fulfilled my contract with them. And then I left and I ended up working as a contractor for my husband's SaaS startup. And that was amazing because that was, a solid, retainer contract with them that I was making money. And then, kind of like my big break, as I'd like to call it in freelancing, happened when I ended up getting 2 contracts with a tech company by the name of MongoDB. If you guys are in the programming area or field, or even in tech, you may have heard of MongoDB. They're, a massive billion-dollar company, and I ended up getting 2 contracts with them, which was really cool. And if you guys want that full story on how I landed them as a client, I'd be more than happy to do a story time on that. Just let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in, and I will go ahead and film it for you because it is a good one. But yeah, so I landed them as a contract, or 2 contracts with them as my client, and that was really exciting because I really got to see the inner workings of their company, which is, a $1 billion tech company, and it was so much fun. I learned a ton, and those contracts went, I think they were about 9 months. And then after that, I ended up landing another tech company by the name of Saster. And really my approach into landing these companies, if you guys are curious, was, and this is what I talk about in my school. I have a freelance school that teaches you exactly, the skills and the methods I use to land clients. So if you guys are curious, there is a link in the description for that. But just to give you guys a quick idea of what I do to land those types of clients is I use social media, and I use, relationship building techniques to, befriend and build relationships with people at these companies. So then when it comes time when they need somebody for X, Y, and Z, I'm there. I'm always there engaging with the people at these companies that are in the field that I am trying to either work with them in. And I become sort of like, I don't even know, like an advocate for the company, but that doesn't actually work at the company, if that makes sense. So I'm there on social, commenting, talking with them in their DMs, sharing their comment, responding to other commenters. I'm just kind of always there, showing up on their social platforms in like a community, a very like strong community member aspect. And I think that's really important if you are somebody that's trying to land bigger contracts like that, is to be aware of your social presence. I really started trying to be more present on social when I really wanted to get into freelancing, which was, over 3 years ago. I saw the potential that social media provided me because I live in Florida, and these big tech companies live, on the West Coast, or they live in New York City. And so being here, being remote, being a contractor, I have the ability through social media to reach the people at these companies when normally I probably wouldn't. So my biggest, kind of takeaway from this story time about how I really got into freelancing and how I was able to make way more money doing it was really through the power of social media and building relationships with these people at these companies and supporting them and being this person that would be advocating for them online that didn't actually work for them. Obviously when they got me on as a contractor and a freelancer, that did change because then they were paying me to do work for them. But in the days before that, I was always there. And even when they did have me on there, I was still always sharing their content because I genuinely believed in those companies and what they were doing for their community. So that's really kind of like my early days of freelance. And I do, still to this day, the way I get most of my clients is either through social media, through building those relationships at those companies, or it's through referrals from working with those companies. They'll refer me to other companies. And as you get more into freelance and you start building that reputation and that, go-getter attitude that a lot of those people want as contractors, you will start to get referrals and your freelance business will 100% start to grow. So that's really, I went from building a website in college to building courses to then, helping companies, analyze data, do marketing, do social, all those types of things. The range of work that I do is a wide range. And the reason why is because there's so many hidden opportunities at companies like that you can find them as you engage with them more. And that really also helps you as a contractor and freelancer make more money because you're expanding the skill set that you offer somebody. So like, let's say you're a software developer, because I think a lot of my audience here is in tech and in the software space. If you're there just to build somebody a website, you need to learn the analytics side and also like the design side. Like, how do you actually design and build a website that is going to convert users to customers? And then how do you analyze that data and how do you interpret that data to your client? Those types of things are really, really important. And so I challenge you all, if you are in that space, to learn those skills so you then can make more money as a freelancer or contractor. That's really what I did to expand my offering and to make more money. Whew, okay, so I think that I think that covers, you know, my quick little story time. Once again, if you guys really want to know about like the exact way that I landed MongoDB or SaaStr or any of those other companies, let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do a story time video on that. But with that being said, I hope you guys have the ability to go out there and make these opportunities for yourself. And feel free to ask me questions. I'm always here. I also have a Slack group in the description too that I'm always in. And there's a ton of other people from all over the world that are in it that can answer any type of question that you guys have. All right, you guys, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later.